All right, a special welcome on this special episode. Of course, FMF, thank you so much for your sponsorship. FMF, the finest premium Ceylon tea. They have been on board with this program for a while. And I'd like to thank the team, FMF team, for their support.
Every morning, wake up with a smile. With FMFT, it's all worth the while. Hey, 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 it's an FMF day. Tea time is calling, you need a quick fix. With FMFT, you have the right mix. Hey, 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 it's the FMF way.
FMF Finest Ceylon Tea is second to none.
Hey, 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 FMF all the way.
And today we have no other than a very famous personality, I must say, very active into the social and community work. She is no other than Anabel Ali. Hi Anabel, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
Nice, good to see you. Long time.
Such a long time. Yeah.
Yes. You've been lost. Where have you been?
I've been around. You invited me for barbecue,
I
but
did.
never happened.
I did invite you.
You invited all of us for barbecue.
Yeah, but you didn't turn up. That's a sad part. But it's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Yeah, and today we have got some very special issues which we wanted to talk to you about. And this is things that are sort of like our viewers and our listeners probably won't know. But the numbers that we're gonna spill it out are sort of like a bit of alarming. And this is about the cancer and very focused on the kids out there. So just to sort of like begin with this, when did you start with this vows and how did it all materialize?
So I started with WOWs in 2017.
Right, yeah.
But before that, I was part of the Leadership Fiji program.
Yes.
So that's where when you mentioned volunteering and being active in the community.
Doing some social.
Yeah. And that's where the discipline started, Leadership Fiji.
I do understand you were not disciplined before.
Different perceptions.
Okay.
But yeah, I think when we've worked together,
Yes.
we like share common, objectives.
Exactly.
And, all of us want to give back to our communities. So yes, that's when I joined WOWs.
Were you approached or you just...
I started off, I was approached to be part of the board, but I was volunteering before as a volunteer.
Okay, so now you are one of those directors.
I am on the board of WOWs, yes.
Oh, okay. And how does the organization itself work?
So,
do you meet often or
yes.
is there a timeline?
Sure. So we, as a board, we meet quarterly. We try to meet quarterly. So we've got a staff of about three of us in the office.
Yeah.
We don't go into operational matters as board. We set the strategy. So, but it's quite hard, in Fiji to differentiate between sometimes not-for-profit, smaller organizations need a lot of resources. So we pitch in where we can. And that's what we've been doing. So my background is finance. So I've been part of fundraising, finance, accounting, that side of work.
So when you look at the organization itself, WOWs, there are sort of like identifying the number of things that's happening or the cases that's around. And then there is, of course, what are the procedural things for the treatment and the monitoring and all those things. When you look at the operational side of it, of course, you are very much involved with the finance side of it. Where do you get the funding for all these things?
Funding is mostly the Fijian people.
Right, very own people.
Our very own people, we go out into the communities. There's a lot of corporates as well who donate their time, also volunteers. And then, without any organization, in any organization, you can't function without money.
Exactly.
So we've got good donors who come on board at the end of the year, and donate large sums of money as well. So we've got good support over the years.
And it's on a yearly basis and things like that.
Yes. So, and we start, commonly in Fiji, when people start rounding up the year, then they look at their corporate social responsibility. So what do they donate? So the end of the year, they hold, the Christmas functions, and then they think, okay, let's contribute to a cause.
Right.
So we've been very blessed in that regard.
Yeah. Now, just some of those things that I was reading earlier on, the number of cases, especially with the kids, and your organization is very much involved with the kids, not the sort of like adults. Kids are the focus. You have got some stats which could be a very alarming for our community. Would you like to spill it out? What sort of stats do you have right now?
Sure. So anytime during the year, we have 73 to 75 children in Fiji who are suffering from cancer.
Okay. They have been diagnosed that they have cancer.
Yes,
Some sort
diagnosed.
of cancer, or is it a general
Mostly common is leukemia, blood
Right.
cancer.
blood cancer?
And then there are cases of brain cancer as well, bone cancer, then different types of organ cancers as well. So blood is very common.
Yeah, comparison, I mean, when you look at all those comparisons and the numbers that you're giving, look at the population side of it, it's huge, right?
It is huge, and it's also what's alarming is the number of children who pass away. As of to date, we've had close to 10 children who've passed on,
Right.
and the year hasn't even ended. So average, may we look at it, almost 20 kids pass on from cancer, and these can be little babies as 1 month old to up to 18-year-olds.
And when you say that 70, did you say
73.
73 or 74, even 75?
75.
That only, we're talking about not the South Pacific, but we're talking about Fiji.
Only Fiji, and
Yeah.
these are only known to
Right.
us, as WOWs, because we try and look at families who come from a very different economic background, and so these are only known to us. But there might
Initially,
be others.
when parents sort of like contact you or they are in touch with you, do they know exact whether it is a cancer or is it something else? That who diagnoses the whole thing?
So the case goes up to the hospitals.
The hospitals.
Either Lotoka or Suva.
Right.
And then they get in touch with us because, with the different economic backgrounds, not everybody has access to medical insurance, and income level is not same.
Right.
So what we try and do is we try and support other ways. We try and support in terms of, some kids when they go through chemo, they don't have something as basic as milk, liquid
Right, yeah.
milk. So provide that support. In Fiji, it's quite prevalent when, most of the kids who have been diagnosed with cancer, they don't have the means to reach the hospitals. So we ensure that we pick up the child from their homes
Home.
and we make sure they reach the hospital.
Okay.
So that's the kind of services we
So
provide.
the treatment is done by a hospital,
Hospitals.
but it is channeled through the WOWs.
The hospital comes to us and
Right.
says this family needs support,
Right.
other levels of support. So
Okay.
we are not medical professionals,
Exactly.
but we work with the doctors and nurses.
So when you say 74, how many cases could you sort of like identify or sort of like in your list whom you think there sort of could be the first stage, second stage? Is there sort of different stages that you have worked it out?
Sure. So in terms of numbers, like 12 out of these 73 kids are palliative. So
Right.
palliative end of life,
Right,
they've gone through
They won't
the
be able to
treatment.
survive
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like
So they're
That's sad.
Yeah, that's very sad. 11 is active.
Mm-hmm.
They're going through treatment therapy, and 16 of the kids are post treatment, so they've done the treatment, and then 18 are 5 years and above, they've survived. So gloomy picture.
Yes.
Background is not all of the kids reach the hospitals on time.
Right.
So we try and advocate for early detection and early, we go to the hospital earlier.
Okay. So what is lacking when you say that some of them don't reach hospital or some of them are sort of like in the late stage or something? What is it? Is it the fault to some extent from the parents, or is it they could not identify, or something that is not in our system that we cannot pick it up?
I think mostly you are right. It's awareness. So
Awareness.
if we don't know about childhood cancer,
Symptoms I'm talking about, right.
symptoms.
Yeah.
So sometimes how we have kids at home who are very tired,
Right.
mostly tired, and we say, just spend the day sleeping. So you need to investigate it and ask
Why that person?
why the child is sleeping more.
Right,
Why
right.
aren't they playing outside? And then blood clots, and then nausea, vomiting all the time.
The common one is of course hair loss.
Hair loss.
Right, but for the kids, we always think, okay, right, the next stage of growth will be the hair or things like that. But you won't be able to say it straight away, right?
Yeah.
Unless they come and see a doctor.
So we try and advocate when you see that your child is going through at least some of these signs or symptoms, or there's something wrong, excessive crying, vomiting, diarrhea, you take your child to the hospital. We do know that there have been cases when the child does go to the hospital or medical center, and they are turned away and said, oh, be on penicillin. But the doctors even insist you keep trying, come back to the hospital and say, my child, there's something wrong, come back again and again and again if you have to. It makes a lot of difference.
Okay, so basically you should keep on insisting, no, this is not right.
Yes.
Or this one is not working with my child.
Yes.
And we need to investigate.
Yes.
We need to do some tests and things like that. And by the time you do the test, then you realize, all right, my child has got certain level of cancer or things like that. That could be a very painful moment for the family.
It is. It is a very disheartening.
Exactly.
And most of the times our communities don't help. And you spoke about what else is there.
Right.
Our society is structured and in some cases we've seen families who go through this. The child goes through cancer. They're being told, oh, it's a curse. Or you've been bewitched, or you've been black magic.
Right. Yeah.
They
still talk about black magic in today's time.
They still do, and they are told not to go to the hospital. Some parents even don't take their children to the hospital because of these reasons.
Where do they get that story of a black magic or jadoo or things like that? Why would someone do that?
Just from the past history, we've had that, and then they carry on, and you don't want to be associated with the child or the family. That's wrong, I think.
What about the stigma? That side of it.
100% stigma as well. When you know that a family is going through this terrible disease, and you don't want to be associated with the child, and you think, and you say, oh, it's going to be contagious, oh, my child shouldn't play with. It's all of that is still prevalent. It's still happening. So we're trying to break that stigma.
So where does that education process come in?
So we work very closely with the medical professionals and try and build awareness around it. We're trying to go into communities to talk about this and say, okay, if these are the signs, please get yourself to the hospital. The rest will work out. The government is actually supporting these children who come to the hospital. There is medication, So there are means, and early detection saves lives.
So can I say that it's more like taking the kid from home to the hospital is one of the toughest tasks?
It is.
Because you have said it could be they're sort of like very focused on the black magic side of it, or it could be, no, it's just a normal thing.
Stigma-like
thing. They don't want that kind of news to spread within the community or things like that. So it must be a really difficult task for you.
It is, and also some of our staff have shared, because when we receive that call of a parent crying or saying, my child has cancer, they don't know what to do. That actually is a lot of social, psychological impact on our staff as well. So we're trying to work around, because Fiji is also not known for, we don't seek counseling. So what we're trying to do is strengthen our model around that.
Was there any case where sort of like the parents were so aggressive, more like they could have chased you, or they would have said?
There have been cases, and there have been some families who have refused treatment as well. Total withdrawal from treatment, and the child has passed on. Or the children have passed on. So there have been cases, yes. So in those cases, we can't do much, because of course you need the consent of the parents.
Right. There were sort of at times, there was a ministry or the health or the sort of like sisters, they used to move around into villages and identify some of the cases. Is that still happening?
It is still happening, and we are part of some of the programs. We work with Ministry of Women as well, Ministry of Health as well, to build awareness around some of the communities.
Has there been a sort of like more like some of the things that you have been telling the villagers or the people around us or whoever it is, some of the key things that people should be focused on, as you mentioned, the symptoms and all those things? Are they sort of like receiving those kind of information openly?
Not to this extent. I think it's quite uncommon too. Childhood cancer in Fiji, it hasn't been spoken about a lot.
Right.
It's quite new, I think. some families don't even want to think about
Right.
their children having cancer. So it's just, you shy away from the discussion. But I think if you yourself said the statistics are alarming.
It is. When I see 74, or 73 or even 70s, when you look at it within our community and within us, with the small population, we have detected these are the number of kids who are going through a tough situation. And it is alarming, right? And you will agree, and others will also agree that now if I start broadcasting, we have got these number of kids who are going through the tough things, tough times. I'm quite sure we're going to get lots of positive response. Or after watching this program, they'll have a total different view of what is happening within our community. Right? And I feel that this is where we should do a lot to sort of like avoid such things, right? It could be some of the reasons that the food we eat. Is it?
Not to my knowledge, and not. I think it's more
in depth. Has it been investigated?
Not a lot of research. I think we don't have access to that kind of research at this point in Fiji.
Right.
But we know a lot of it is genetics.
Genetics.
Yeah.
So genetics. If someone in the family has got it, then obviously how come that person got it? It could have passed from some of the things that we were sort of not supposed to have it.
So we have a good system in the healthcare. Medical professionals are quite they know what they're doing. So if you present early, and it's not like there is no QI at all. You go to the hospital and the doctors know what they're doing. So if I can share with you a boy we've known, he had brain cancer. So he got himself to the hospital on time, and he's now more than 25 years old. So that's
he survived more like,
and
he's doing very well.
Yes. So there are children who have.
Right. Now coming back to your organization, WOWS, how does it work? A, you have a fundraising thing. B, then you are going through with the Ministry of Health. Then you are identifying some of the cases. What's next?
What we also like to talk about from this year onwards, heavy presence is awareness. Like you're saying, there's not much conversation happening in the communities, So we want to build on that. We want people to spread the word that, childhood cancer is real, it's happening.
Right.
Numbers are alarming. Please look out for these signs.
And that's sort of like, if these are the signs that's happening within or someone's family, they can come forward to ours.
Of course.
They can come straight, or they can go to the
hospitals. But if you need to reach out to us, please come to us. We are in Rewa Street, 251 Rewa Street.
Okay.
But the medical professionals, the doctors are really robust, in their care, and
Is there some financial help that your organization is doing for the kids?
Of course, yes. So we provide like transportation to and from the hospital. What we also try and do is provide monthly, like if nutrition pack to the children. So if they're at home, it's very expensive to cater for, a good nutritious meals for these kids when they go back home. So we try and provide for them monthly, counseling services as well, and then back to school. So once they're post-treatment, if they can go back to school slowly, we try and get them ready for school. We do all sorts of
getting back into the community.
Yeah.
Do you get overseas funding too?
Not
Are
largely.
you associated with any of those organizations outside Fiji?
So late last year, we were able to set up a company in Australia, WOWS Kids Fiji in Australia. So that company fundraises in Australia and also sends money back here to Fiji. But what that company is also doing is helping us in medication and other supplies that we're not able to get in Fiji. So that has been quite successful for us.
At present, you have one of those promotions going on right now. It is to do with the children.
Childhood cancer
awareness.
Yeah.
And you are using all the platforms to promote it, which is indeed very good in a sense. That's why you are here. And we'd love to help you. We'd love to promote the whole thing. We'd love to do all sorts of awareness programs wherever there is a need. And I'm quite sure our viewers, our listeners, they will continue with the good work that they have been doing, and I'm quite sure you'll get lots of blessings.
Thank you.
And it's so nice to have you. Feel like continue talking to you, getting all the informations, but today is just the start. We're going to have more discussions on this issue in time to come. But Anabel, thank you so much for taking your time out. We had a very good discussion. I'm sure you'll get good feedbacks.
Thank you. I must thank you for your time and your reach, your audience that you have. It is a great platform for us. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.